I'd heard the book As a Man Thinketh was a classic self-development book. And honestly, I'd avoided it because it sounded long, it sounded boring, and it sounded outdated just based on the title. But let me tell you this, I was wrong. Hey, what's up? It's Gene Clark with Self Development U, bringing you my review of the book As a Man Thinketh. If this is your first time visiting the channel, hit that subscribe button for more videos like this in the future, and feel free to check out my summary I did of As a Man Thinketh last week. Alright, let's jump right into things. So today I am rocking my pink because although the title is As a Man Thinketh, the book is for everybody, and hey, I'm comfortable in pink. But seriously, the book surprised me not even when I started reading it. It was before, once I was actually picking it up, and I said, wow, this is a really short book. And all this time, even though I'd seen it on all these top 10, top 5 best self-development book list, I never picked it up because I really thought this was going to be, a thick mammoth of a book. It uses the word thinketh, which is very old school, and so I just thought it was going to be very boring, it was going to be very long, and it was not going to be enjoyable. And that was just completely incorrect. One of the coolest things I thought about the book was it was written in 1903 by James Allen, and it was really considered one of the pioneering, self-help, self-development type books for the time, and it really helped kickstart the genre in general. And like I said, I'm expecting this thick, mammoth, long book, and I pick it up, and I think my version was 28 pages. So you pick it up and you say, oh, I'm going to sit down and read this right now, and then I'll be done. And that's fantastic because I know that you're out there right now probably saying to yourself, I don't have time to read 200, 300 page books. And although they're full of great content, I need a channel like Self Development U to give me those book summaries. And if I like it enough, I'm going to click on the link in the description. I'm going to buy the book. But this is the one that really anybody and everybody not only could pick up, but should pick up because it is so short. You can knock it out in one sitting. Read it before bed and immediately you'll go to sleep, or you'll just get so energized after reading it you won't be able to fall asleep. So maybe don't read it right before bed. Read it right when you wake up in the morning. It'll get you pumped up for the day. Now I look back and I say, why did it take me so long to check this book out? Like I said, I've seen it on all these lists. I've heard it recommended to me from various sources, and I'm upset at myself that it took me so long to pick it up. And hey, these are just my thoughts when I actually picked up the book and put it in my hands before I even read it. Finally getting into the book. With a book this short, one of the things they have to do is eliminate all the fluff. Now, you know me, you know I love my stories, I really love those historical references. This book has none of that. There are no stories. It just gives you the meat of the message, and it just keeps giving it to you over and over and over. I don't know if I would feel this way if I hadn't read so many self-development books that have so much fluff. And I love the stories, but some of them could be eliminated, and there's always a bunch of fluff that could be eliminated. But in my mind, I just picture James Allen sitting at his table, and his publisher comes, they knock on the door, and for some reason it's the Wild West in my mind. But they come in the door and they say, James, we need the book. We need it now. He said, it's not ready. And they said, we need it, we need it now. So he just goes, he turns around, he grabs this bare bone, script, and he throws it across the table. He said, take it, get off my property. And they take it and they leave and they publish it. And it starts a self-help movement that sweeps the nation and the world. And honestly, that was really refreshing. It's nice to finally pick up a book and get the message and knock it out. I think a lot more self-development books could be written in less than 100 pages, certainly less than 150 pages, if the writers themselves were more confident in the message they were delivering, or at least more confident in the way they were delivering it, where they didn't have to give so many different examples and so many different stories. They just said, hey, here's the content, here's the message, take it, it's great, you're gonna love it. That right there as to one of the reasons I think this book has really stood the test of time, because that's what James does. He just says, hey, here's the message, take it, run with it. It is what it is. One of the things I love about the self-development genre is that the message is always very straightforward and very obvious. Not necessarily before you pick up the book and read it, but after you've read it or while you're reading it, you sit back and you say, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I should have been doing this. And As a Man Thinketh is no different. The main topic covered in this book is the power of thought and how the mind controls all aspects of our life. And really how our life turns out is based on the thoughts that we have, which result in the actions we take. It's funny because as I was reading this book, I had 3 other books that kind of kept popping into my mind here and there through various topics that were covered. And I am sure that these authors were all influenced by As a Man Thinketh, because all these books were written well after 1903. And they are Think and Grow Rich, The 4 Agreements, and Mindset. And that just goes to show you that these authors most likely weren't consciously trying to, directly take ideas from this book, but with so much powerful information packed in it that it's hard to, at least subconsciously, not say, oh yeah, this is a great idea, this is a great concept, I'm going to include this in my book. These are all popular books, and As a Man Thinketh is no different. And they're all covering the same topic, that it all starts in the mind, and the mind is the most powerful tool that all of us have. The thoughts we have can make us or break us. You note from my last video, my favorite quote from the book is, as we think, so we are. As we are, so we act. As we act, so we attract. My favorite takeaway from this book comes from the section Thought and Purpose. So many people these days are criticizing the self-help or self-development genre, and they're saying that it's too easy for people to just pick up a book, consume it, put it down, pick up another book, consume it, put it down, and that people are too busy reading to actually do something with their lives. And they go on to talk about how the authors of these books and the publishers are really just in it to try to make a buck off of all of these desperate people that have nothing going in their life. And I just fundamentally disagree with that. I think that people who read these books are looking for that spark and are looking for that motivation, and are looking for something that can take them to the next level. And maybe they're just going to try to consume because there's little nuggets that you can take away from each and every book, because the way people present information, even if it's the same message, the way it's presented can offer you different insight and offer you a different takeaway than you would have gotten before. And to say that the people that are writing these books are simply doing it for the money doesn't make any sense either. This is one of the most competitive genres out there, and I just don't think that you would willy-nilly write a book and put it in this genre where it's likely to be trampled by bigger name authors. There are a lot of different topics and a lot of different areas where there's less competition, and it's honestly easier to write. Since I started my channel earlier this year, I have noticed more and more negativity towards the self-development genre. And that's one of the reasons that in my book summaries and my book reviews, I try not to give you everything that the book has to offer. I just try to give you a very high level in the summary and just my opinion of some of the topics that were covered in the review. But my main goal is to try to pique your interest enough that you click the link in the description that I leave for the book, you go out there, you read the book, you take the message, and then you get off your butt and you go do something. And that's what makes the thought and purpose section of this book fantastic. As a Man Thinketh was written in 1903. It's one of the first self-help books ever written. And it's one that really blew up the genre. And in the book, in this section, it specifically talks about how even if you have these great thoughts, even if you have these great ideas, if you don't do anything with them, then you might as well not have them at all. And you're actually wasting more talent and more energy in having these thoughts and not doing anything with them. And I love it because it is the argument that people have for self-development books, talk about how bad they are. And literally, in one of the first ones ever written, it specifically talks about how, yeah, this is not why self-development and self-help books are written. They're written to get you pumped up and motivated to go out and do something. As a Man Thinketh. Solid message, solid read, super short read. Click the link in the description to grab your copy if you don't already have it. If you enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button and then share it with a friend who you think could benefit from the message that this channel is trying to put out there. My question for everyone watching today is, how do you feel about the stories that are included in self-development books? Do you like that they give you the real life example that kind of ties into the message they're trying to deliver? Or would you prefer something like As a Man Thinketh, where it's just, hey, here's the content, here's the message, take it, run with it, and move on? Let me know about it in the comment section down below. I can't wait to hear what you have to say, and I will see y'all next time.